As you approach the vehicle with the key, it has the full proximity system, and it'll sense the key at a certain point, and it'll unfold the side mirrors. There's also a little light here on the handle that it'll illuminate, but that's the only thing it does. There's no exterior lights or anything that turn on when you approach the vehicle. Now, when you hit the unlock button, and the little key has a little light on it, it'll go ahead and turn on the exterior lights here. We still have the handle light, and we have the interior lights now as well. The headlight switch is not illuminated, and you can kind of see it when the interior lights are on, but when you change the selection, it shows here on the screen what you're selecting. So that's a really big help. So when you have the headlights off in the off position, you can turn off all the exterior lights. But if you put it in drive, then some exterior lights are turning on. Now I have the parking lights on, and the parking lights are these pretty cool looking amber lights. Not overly bright, but you can see them from pretty much all directions here. I'm turning the brightness down, kind of looks a little bit blasted out, but yeah, it's a nice deep orange color, and you can see it from the side, so it serves as a side marker. In the front, so it's visually useful, but also stylish as well. Really cool looking. It's actually two separate lights. So you have this light right here, separated right here. So you have this vertical light and then the horizontal light there on the top, and that's the one that goes all the way around to the sides. So yeah, it serves as a side marker as well as a parking light. There's a red side marker here in the back. And once again, we have a stylish light for the tail lights. And these are deep red color. Kind of look a little bit too bright on camera. But yeah, they are a deep red color. Looking pretty cool. And the tag light is now on. The signal here in the front is that same light that's just brighter, much brighter. And once again, it's visible from all directions. Really, really good turn signal here in the front. I'm very impressed with it. The brightness and the visibility, everything is just excellent here in the front. So it's just a brighter amber color light, and just extends in all three directions, looking good. There's an amber turn signal indicator here on the side mirror. It's visible from the front, the side, and the back. It's a little bit brighter this way. And we have a red turn signal here in the back. So that would have been a little bit better, I think, if it was amber, but it is very bright. It's a very bright turn signal. It's kind of blasting out my eyes and the camera here. So let me turn the brightness as far down as I can. So you can see it has a little bit of a style, a little bit of a detail there that's getting blasted out with the brightness. But it is a nice deep red color, and I think it looks good. It definitely gets your attention for sure. Now there's a third brake light at the top of the glass, looking really nice, nice LED strip. And the reverse lights are down at the bottom on the bumper next to the reflectors. So let's go ahead and turn on the low beams here. High beams, low beams. So we're gonna look at it going down the dark road as well. But the headlight system on this vehicle is a multi-projector, and they're horizontal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 projector tubes here. The upper portion is the low beams, and in the high beams, the lower portion joins in. So they're very focused, and you can, the manufacturer can, aim the light in a safe direction for visibility, good visibility for you without blinding other drivers. And then there is these two little reflector LED fog lights here at the bottom. So there's multiple LEDs in that reflector, it looks like. There's a top one and a bottom one. And they're quite low. It's what you want for fog lights. And yeah, looking really good. So the accent light, the amber accent light, the headlights, and then the fog lights, they all have this style to them that looks really awesome. Get a little bit closer look here so you can see. All right, So let's step back here a little ways and see about where the cutoff is. So when I'm 6 feet tall, I'm looking directly at the headlights, and they're not blinding me or anything. I mean, I could look directly at them. But as I dip the camera down, right there, about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground, is where the cutoff is, and that's where all the light is. So down here is where it'd be very bright for my eyes. So the intention is to illuminate the road in front of you without blinding other drivers, basically, for the low beams anyway. So let's go to the high beams. And the high beams, now, those additional projectors down here at the bottom are now illuminated. So you can see that 1, 2, 3, and 4, all illuminated now. So yeah, the fog lights also turn off when you turn on the high beams. The cargo light, it's kind of interesting. I mean, right off the bat, I would say it can be better for sure. But it is, for what it is, it does a decent job here. We have a single light here in the middle. And basically what they're trying to do is use this as a cargo light and a third row light. So you're getting just a broad cast of relatively not super bright light pretty much everywhere from that center position. And I think for what they're trying to do, I think they achieve that because the light doesn't shine directly down. I mean, it does, but it doesn't stop there. You know, they kind of reflect it, they kind of angle it everywhere in this whole area. You can see it even casting on the back of those seats. Hopefully you can see that. So even here on the sides here, it's not that dark here. This over here gets some light. So they did a good job of taking that one light and just kind of spreading the light everywhere. And although, you know, I would prefer additional lights here on the sides, you know, maybe some lights for the third row passengers can turn on, that kind of thing. Maybe even an over the shoulder type light on the lift gate. But as it is, I would say that, you know, for just a single light, they did a decent job here. There is USB, backlit USB ports here for the third row passengers. So they do have some backlit, something backlit anyway. The inside of the back door, there's no puddle light. There's no pocket lights. There's no ambient lights, there's nothing. Just a little light here so you can find these buttons. Just some backlit buttons there. So once again, they did a pretty good job of spreading the light here in the second row. You can see that the floorboard has some light. The seats have light. They just kind of, there's two lights here, one on each side of the sunroof. And so they did a decent job actually. It's not overly bright, but it gives you good amount of light pretty much everywhere. So yeah, just kind of angling it everywhere is good. So you notice that the third row is completely dark. I don't have the seats up, but if there were, you'd get very, very little light back there. So, you know, that's definitely, you know, something that needs to be improved. But their strategy of taking lights and kind of spreading out the light as far as possible seems to be working for the most part. Now on the back of this console here, there is some USB port and power inverter, all that's dark. And there is some USB ports on the back of these seats, which are also dark. They're not backlit, unlike the third, which are backlit. Driver's door, there's no puddle lights, no approach lights, no pocket lights, nothing like that. We just have the backlit buttons, which all the buttons here are backlit, including the presets there. There's no floorboard illumination. You have some backlit buttons here. But these lights are more so, they don't spread out as much. They're mostly in the seat area and in the center console area. Now there's a couple things that I want to point out that's when we get in here that's could be improved. I'll just say that. Okay, so this is what it looks like with the interior lights on. And pretty decent. The lights are not shining in the driver's face so much, a little bit, but not too bad. And most of the light is in the center right here where you would pretty much need it. And so yeah, let me shut the door. So now we have pretty much no light. You know, there's backlit buttons here, here on the steering wheel. All that looks good. And the screens look really good. The cameras are excellent. I'll go ahead and put turn the cameras on here. Yeah, the cameras are really good. You can see all the way around the vehicle, even the darker areas. No problem with seeing around. The rear view camera, once again, excellent day or night. But there is a compartment right here, and you can't even see what I'm talking about because it's completely dark. There is a cup holders here, dark. Center console here, completely dark. No light whatsoever. Does have a light in the glove compartment. Kind of surprised at this point, but I'm glad to see that. And it's a decent light. It works well. You notice there's no ambient light. This is a fairly expensive vehicle, so I looked all through the settings, make sure there was no, nothing turned off or anything. But yeah, no ambient light or anything like that. So let's go ahead and turn on the interior lights. Oh, wait a minute. The interior light button, the one button that you would only use when you need it and when it's dark and you can't see anything. Oh, I got to turn on the interior lights. It's not backlit, right? So I see this it's like a common thing that I'm not sure why they do this, some kind of cost cutting, but there's somewhere in here, right there. It has power to it. Look, there's a light, there's a little on light showing you that the light's on. Why don't they have a backlit, that button backlit? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So yeah, let's turn on the interior lights once again. So now we can see the pocket I was talking about, where it has the wireless charger too. So that's kind of a big deal, where you be nice to have at least a little tiny bit of light in there just to get your bearings, see where your phone is, where you can grab it. Same thing with the cup holders, some kind of light going on. You notice there's this little light right here with the interior light. That kind of helps out with this. And it illuminates this center console well. So even though we don't have lights, we can, as far as in the pockets and stuff, we can see decently. The floorboard, not really, these lights mostly shine in this area. So yeah, floorboard illumination would be cool. This is almost the highest trim, by the way. But yeah, these interior lights, you can tap the individual lights here. So yeah, being able to tap the light and get a, quick reading light or whatever is fine. But yeah, I wish that light was illuminated. It makes no sense to have the interior light, the button for the interior lights not illuminated, especially when it has power. Like the fact that it has that little light right there just really drives me nuts because there's power to it. All they would have to do is add a little light to it. Anyways, moving on, here is the visor. And you notice when I open the mirror there, which has a large mirror, it doesn't automatically turn the light on. You have to find up here, which is dark, the switch to turn on the light here. And it has a nice big mirror. But if you accidentally leave that light on, when you lift this up, it hits that button and turns it off, which is pretty cool. There's the headlight pattern on a fence. There's the high beams, there's the low beams, and you'll notice a little notch over here. That's intended to line up with the oncoming lane. So all those projector systems are gonna line up and hopefully, if it's done well, line up on the oncoming lane and try to avoid glare when it's raining, like a wet road, blinding drivers and stuff. Because remember, all the light's coming down. So that little notch kind of helps with glare and stuff bouncing up and hitting their eyes or whatever. So a little notch on the oncoming lane is a common feature, required basically. So just to let you know, I have the camera setting a little bit brighter than normal, just so you can see the pattern well. But I'll just kind of partially describe the system here, but hopefully you'll be able to see the pattern. Okay, so it looks like that shadow is lining up for the most part. It's a little bit in my lane, but mostly, yeah, it looks like the left headlights are in the path on the oncoming lane, and the right headlights are not quite making it over there. So it might be just a slight alignment issue. which the reason why I mention that is because sometimes that shadow will appear on the lane I'm driving on and I can't see. So for it to be on my side at all is not good. It's better to have it all on the oncoming lane. But other than that, the low beams are really good. The brightness is well done. I can see on the sides of the road and the road in front of me. Let's switch the fog lights are assisting really close to the vehicle, but even then, it's still, I can see really well, even with the low beams close to the vehicle. All right, so let's go to the high beams. Oh yeah, these are really good. So yeah, the low and the high beams, you know, all the projectors are adding light. You know, I like the way you could add more light. We have the automatic high beams on. So they should be kicking in here, and they're not. So there we go. So I had to intervene there. But usually Kia and Hyundai headlight automatic high beams are working well. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but we'll see how it happens next time. But yeah, I can see the trees in the distance. I can see pretty much everything. And I like the fact that, once again, I had to intervene with the automatic high beams. I'm not sure what's going on. Low beams are good. All right, so back to the high beams here. They're just excellent. Having multiple projectors added on to the already good low beams is just really good. I mean, it just really adds. The thing about these headlights is that they don't have any kind of active bending movement left and right and anything like that. It just gives you light everywhere, and it's bright enough to see well. So that's what I like to see. I like to see where I could just look everywhere I want. I don't have to turn the steering wheel in a certain direction to aim the very limited light that's already there in a certain direction. It just gives me light everywhere, and it has significant brightness to reach and penetrate down the road into the woods on the side. I can see trees. I can see any kind of animals that happen to be on the side of the road. I could just see everything. You know, there's no significant patchiness on the road. Or anything like that. So yeah, these are great headlights. I really do like these. And so having multi-projector system, they paid off in this particular case because they're working well. And really that shadow on the oncoming lane, the fact that it's on my lane a little bit, it's not really a big deal now because once again, we're adding light for the high beams. So when it's very dark, the high beams turn on, there's no cars around. That pretty much eliminates that problem because we're adding 2 additional projector lights to the mix, and it just illuminates everything. So yeah, we got some good headlights on this vehicle for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the automatic high beams. It's a possibility that the windshield needs to be cleaned or something, like a bug or something got right over the sensor. Because sometimes yeah, it's working now. Yeah, not sure what's going on, but usually I'm very skeptical of automatic high beams because they're so problematic in a lot of vehicles, but Hyundai is usually great. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to the windshield or something because this is be the first Hyundai and Kia vehicle that didn't have decent high beams. You know, the automatic high beam function didn't work well. So yeah, seems to be working now. Maybe I just didn't have something right. It says auto high beams on the dash here.
Riding in my Sorento, yeah, I'm feeling mean. Got legacy so comfy like a luxury machine. Panoramic roof, I'm closer to the stars, but I'm just going grocery shopping, not driving fast cars. Yeah, I've got the turbo, I've got the torque. I can pull a mountain, but I'm headed to the park. All-wheel drive, I can conquer the show, but I'm stuck in traffic and moving real slow. Sorento, master of the road, can carry 7 kids or a heavy load. Sorento, beast of the street, but right now I'm just looking for something to eat. Bluetooth blasting, I'm rocking out hard to the sweet sound of beep. You're low on fuel recharge. I flex the safety features, lane assist engaged, but my turn signal's been on for days and days. Pull up to the drive-thru, yeah, I'm feeling tough. Sir, that'll be $5. Now that's metal enough. Drop in sport mode, ready for the thrill, but I gotta slow down, there's a speed bump on the hill. Sorento, master of the road, can carry 7 kids or a heavy load. Sorento, beast of the street, but right now I'm just looking for something to eat. The Bluetooth blasting, I'm rocking out hard to the sweet sound of boop. You're low on fuel recharge. I flex the safety features, lane assist engaged, but my turn signal's been on for days and days. Pull up to the drive-thru, yeah, I'm feeling tough. Sir, that'll be $5. Now that's metal enough. Jump in sport mode, ready for the thrill, but I've gotta slow down, there's a speed bump on the hill. Sorento, ruler of the town, you'll never see me in a minivan crowd. Sorento, king of the road, but I'm just trying to get home before the ice cream explodes. Cargo space, yeah, I've got tons, but it's filled with soccer balls and burger buns. Looking fierce with my blacked out rims,